Remove the ineffective thinking from your trading. A lot of people think for some reason that the way that you think outside of trading does not affect you whatsoever as the trader in the market. They think that, if I just disconnect from whatever is going on in life and just get in front of my computer and start trading, that somehow, some way, you as a trader, that these thoughts that you're having as a trader, these thoughts of can't, won't, will never become successful, whatever that thinking is that you have, a lot of traders carry that over because it's human nature. They carry over into your trading. And until you're able to not just stop your ineffective thinking, but to totally be able to remove it from your mind before you even start trading, you will always be in that repeat cycle of losing. Because just like we know, a great strategy means nothing if the person trading it isn't where they should be in their mental state. That's why trading is a game of psychology. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to win in this game. Not just win, but win big. And first, I want to start off with exactly what the problem is and how your mind is holding you back. And then let's jump into how we're actually going to be able to end this effective thinking, this ineffective thinking, and start having effective thinking. Let's get into it. Because if you guys know me and if you know this channel or have been following it for a little bit of time, you know that my whole goal is to make you not just profitable, but that you have your heart's desire through trading, whatever that may be. And with that, psychology and the way you think is always going to be at the forefront. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is that? It's because the way that you as a trader are thinking towards the market makes all the difference. And again, that's why some people, some traders are able to learn a strategy, learn a system, and absolutely just kill it in the market, while other traders learn that same strategy. They're in that same community, and yet they're the people that stay in that community for the next 50 months and never become profitable. Why? It's not the strategy. You never need a strategy. It's all with your mindset and your ability to handle emotions and the emotions that's present. And until you master that in trading, nothing's going to work. So we set the groundwork. Now, let's get into more what the actual problem is and how your mind is holding you back. So you guys remember from the other video that we made, let's just write down the topic first. Oh. It's terrible handwriting. All right. Looks like our marker is about to die on us, so let's try to hurry up and do this. But why your mind is actually holding you back. And it's a simple reason. So if you remember from our last video, right? So in our last video, what we were saying is that you as a trader, one of the issues that you are having as a trader is the mere issue that you are allowing yourself to think. And thinking is not a bad thing, but thinking becomes a bad thing when you are thinking while trading. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video. I'm not going to dive into this, but thinking while trading is the detrimental thing. But you still have thinking outside of trading, because everybody thinks that thinking is some type of duality, or that your life as a trader, that there's some type of duality. I'm telling you now, there is no duality in your trading and your life. All right. So let's draw this so we can have a visual representation of what we're talking about here. We have trading. Boom. These are the two splits, right? And this is what makes up you as the trader. And I know hopefully you're a bit more complex in these two buckets. For this example, let's just do this, right? You love trading, and you also have personal life. Now, many traders, they think that, okay, once they log on to their computer and they start trading the markets, that somehow they're able to put a wall. And this wall is going to be in between their trading and their personal life. And they think that their personal life stays to the right and their trading stays to the left. That's what most people believe. And I'm telling you now that in the market, this is not reality, right? Because the stress, terrible ass, but the stress, frustration, beliefs, anger, right? All of this stuff and more. It's going to not just be in your personal life, but this stuff is going to do what? It's going to come into your trading life. And it's very evident. And I don't understand, even when I was finding my road to profitability, I never had this mindset. So I personally don't understand it, but I know enough traders that do to know it's important to make a video on it. Everything that you are going on that's happening in your personal life, whether it's going to be stress, whether it's frustration, whether it's beliefs, whether it's anger, all of this stuff, all it does is carry over into your trading, right? So you as a trader, you wake up, you're angry, you bang your foot on the wall, right? So now your morning just got off to a bad start. You're going downstairs, the dog is barking too much. You kick the dog, you go upstairs, you spill the coffee all over yourself. So now your lap is hot and it smells like, I don't know, Ecuador because of the coffee. I don't know where coffee's from, but now your whole leg smells like coffee and all of this different stuff. And you're just having a terrible morning. And somehow, through all of that craziness, through all of that insaneness, that terrible morning, all of this personal stuff in life going on, right? Stress, frustration, all of that. You think that you're somehow just going to be able to plant a wall and disconnect yourself as the trader from that? Absolutely not. You may not be doing it consciously, right? Because nobody is going to be consciously trying to lose money in trading, but subconsciously. All of these things are going to flow into your trading. And when these things flow into your trading, I think you can understand, but these things are going to cause one thing. I put two things. I said one thing, but two things. But really, it's one thing. And the one thing is it's going to cause mistakes. And these mistakes are going to manifest in the form of losses. And if you remember what we believe and what we've been saying about losses, not losses, mistakes, we know that mistakes are not losses. Because you can lose a trade and not make a mistake. Why? Because your strategy inherently is going to have mistakes in it. That's why we have a win rate. If losses were not a natural part of the trading game, there would be no such thing as a win rate. Everybody would have 100%. Because if you mess up in trading, then you would lose. So everybody would have a 100% win rate. But the fact that we have a win rate saying that out of 100 trades, I may only win 40 trades, then that means that losses are a part of our natural system. That's why mistakes are not losses, but losses are the manifestation of mistakes, right? So digging in a little bit deeper, you can have a win that's a mistake because a mistake is just deviating outside your strategy. So you can take a trade that doesn't align with your strategy and win it, but guess what? That's a mistake. And you can have a trade that's within your strategy and lose, but guess what? That's a proper trade. So how is it I can have a trade that wins as a mistake, but a trade that loses is not a mistake? It's actually my strategy doing what it's supposed to do. Just food for thought. But going back to this example, all of this personal stuff is flooding into your trading. That's why you need to make sure that A, what's happening in your personal life, that you have a good personal life because everything flows into one another, but more importantly, that your thoughts and that your mind are in accordance with you winning. And I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds make believe. I know whatever, but let's just think about it, right? Let's think about this intuitively because I have to make this jump with traders and they always have pushback to certain things. But if you just think about it intuitively, your personal life always bleeds over into everything else, right? That's why when your kids get on your nerves, you're going to yell at your kids. But in reality, you're not yelling at your kid because you're mad with your kid. You're just doing that subconsciously because you're mad at your coworkers, you're mad at your boss, you're mad at all of these outside influences, but you're going to take it out on your kid, or you're going to take it out on your dog subconsciously, sometimes realizing it after fact, sometimes not even realizing it. And I'm telling you now, if you don't correct this over here, then this over here is going to suffer tremendously. So what does this have to do with the mind? What does this have to do with how your mind is holding you back? Your mind is holding you back because you're holding all of these things. And as you guys know, when I start stuttering, I get excited. So I'm excited over this because so many traders are messing up over this simple fact. You're holding on to all of these things mentally, and you're causing that to go into your trading. And this is how your mind is holding you back. How can we fix this? Right? Because I understand that not everybody's going to have the greatest personal life. Sure, I get that. And I get that it's almost impossible to end the stress and frustration that's in your life. For that, you need a psychologist. I may be the trading psychology doctor, but I'm not a psychology doctor, and I can't help you with that. I can help you with this. And what I'm going to give you are the steps on exactly how other traders have been able to not disconnect these two, because these two will never be disconnected. It's not possible. And it's foolish and ignorant to think that you're able to. But I'm going to tell you exactly how you, as a trader, how you're going to be able to change your beliefs. And your beliefs that you change are going to be able to change the way that you trade over here. Notice I didn't say that all of these personal issues are going to be worked out. You're going to have to book an appointment with Dr. Phil for that. But what I am saying is that we're going to give you, we as in me, give you ways in which you can change your actual beliefs when it comes to not just trading, but life in general, because all of these things flow together. Just like all my videos relate back to each other, because trading is simple and they all relate to one another when I'm making different videos. The same is true with just trading and life in general. Your trading suffers when all of this stuff in your personal life is happening, but let's figure out how to change your beliefs, especially your beliefs towards trading, which is truly holding you as a trader back, so that you can finally start profiting in the market and stop giving the market money every single month when you blow an account. So that's how the mind is holding you back. And just to make sure that I hit every single point, just know, if you get one thing out of this little slide, not even slide, but if you get one thing out of this section that we're going over right now, is get this. Most traders lose not because they don't know enough, but because they think in ways that work against them. In other words, their beliefs that they have in the market, they're carrying these things over into their trading, and it's causing absolute destruction in terms of loss after loss after loss. And we're going to go into exactly how you're going to stop this cycle. Let's get this part to it. Let's do it. So when we're going over the mind, it's hard to be able to assess it because everybody thinks that what they're doing is correct. If you're watching this video, right, then you obviously have some level of understanding that something is wrong here, right? And hopefully you come to the conclusion already. And if you haven't come to that conclusion, just keep watching these videos and watch other videos that we have done. But you're going to quickly come to the conclusion that something is wrong here, and that this something is not strategy, because it's never the strategy, it's always you. And it's hard to be able to assess the mind because it's hard to honestly give yourself an evaluation for how your mind is affecting you. So when we're going over these points, don't look at these points and try to consider them as to whether or not they're relevant to you when you're trading, but rather get these points and just demonstrate and exercise and work all of these points out in your trading. Because again, you're not going to be able to see yourself to properly analyze whether or not this has anything to do with you. And I know that sounds a little, like a Bruce Lee quote or something like that, but just keep that in mind and just analyze all these points that we're going over. Because I promise you, it relates to you, whether you think it does or not. All right, so part two. Part two is this: the patterns that you need to remove in the market. Very important to do this. This marker is absolutely terrible, and I love the color blue. I hate that. Okay, let's go back to red, I guess. There we go. We like to see that. Patterns that you must remove. This looks just ridiculous. Let me, bam. All right, patterns that you must remove in your thinking. And the reason why I say patterns is that you always think in patterns, right? So again, it's not complete unless we have a guy on the board. Just can't do without a stick figure on the board. So it's you think in patterns, right? You may have a wild thought, right, that just comes into your mind every now and then, but typically your thoughts are going to follow a pattern, and this pattern can be anything, but typically this pattern is going to be negative, right? This is going to be the typical pattern, and it's always going to come to your thoughts, and this negative pattern can play out in so many ways, right? This negative pattern can play out in the way of, say, I'll just give a few examples. And I've heard it all. So when I'm writing these, know I've heard it all, and we can go on for days. But right, and these can just be a few of the patterns of negativity that's flowing through your head, right? I'll never make it. This can't work. Trading just won't work for me, right? These are all patterns that you may have going through your head, and these are negative patterns. Right? You have a pattern of negativity, and it can be seen through a host of different phrases, but it doesn't matter what those phrases are, it's all negative, right? And these negative, let's write this up here. And these negative beliefs that you have, this negative belief pattern that you have, it's impacting your mind. Now, this is why we wrote Wild Thought to the right. And no, that's not the Rihanna song, Wild, Wild Thoughts. I think that's a song. I don't listen to Rihanna. I don't know. But look, the reason why we have wild thoughts is these wild thoughts can be in the form of positivity. Right? These can be the thoughts that we're getting. We can in the market as traders, we can actually have, believe it or not, positive thoughts influenced by somebody, and that influence gives us a whole new perspective on trading, what trading can do, give us renewed hope, whatever it is, right? Inspiration, all of that. But understand that these are just wild thoughts. And after a while, you're going to slip right back in to your negative beliefs because that's the pattern in which you think. And I'm trying to change the way that you think, right? So that you can change the way that you approach trading. Because if you always have these negative belief patterns in your trading, you will always produce these negative thoughts and ideas because you have negative beliefs behind it. And that will always leak into your trading and cause loss after loss after loss. Okay, so we're on the same page, right? These are thought patterns that you must remove. And it's the old adage of come over here. And I wish the blue was working for this, and you'll see why. But unfortunately, your boy's been cheaping on the marker, so we got to step it up. But here, right? I know that doesn't make any sense. I know that doesn't look like anything. But the idea of glass half empty or half full, and that's the whole premise of this video, right? Is what your mindset is. Do you have a negative belief pattern or a positive belief pattern when it comes to the market? And the goal is to have neither when you approach trading. What do I mean by that? Right. So we saw the video why you shouldn't think when trading. Now, I'm not talking about thinking when you're trading. I'm talking about thinking outside of trading. In your thoughts about trading outside of trading, if that makes sense. So not thinking while you're trading, but your thoughts about trading outside of your trading time, right? This is what you tell yourself at night. This is what you tell yourself when you're with your family. This is those real conversations that you as a trader are going to have up there in your mind about whether or not you really think this trading thing will work, because I guarantee you it can. And I guarantee, well, let me not guarantee you it will, but I guarantee you it can. And if you just follow the right information, it absolutely can and will. So we understand our beliefs can't be negative, and we understand our beliefs can't be positive. Because just like negative beliefs, right, can also have the same effect, which is the effect of losses, that's the manifestation of it, as positive beliefs, right? So positivity as well. Because remember the state of emotions that we talked about in our video, fear. You have a state of euphoria, which is where you think you can do anything. So if you are in a very positive state when it comes to trading, then that can cause you to come into a state of euphoria in the market where you just start trading out of control because you think everything is going to work, right? Or in other words, you as a trader, you just start trading buck wild in the market because you think you're God and every single trade will work. Because we all had those days where it's like your strategy, your system, it is red hot. You can't lose. You start upping your risk. And every time you up your risk, all right, and you keep going up and up and up and up and up on that risk, you keep making more and more and more money until you don't, until you blow your account. So that's why when we're talking about beliefs, we just don't want to shift from a negative belief state over into a positive belief state. That's not enough. Yes, I do believe in positivity, but as you guys know on this channel, we don't pray to the monkey god over here. We're not putting blood on our head and doing all of this crazy stuff that's not real, that other people say that whatever, right? Not the manifestation stuff. I'm giving you tangible, hard, cold information on what other very successful traders have done in order to bridge the gap. And I'm giving these exact things to you after being able not just learn from some of these people, but teach some of these people. And I'm telling you now, do not try to shift from a negative belief state about trading to a positive belief state about trading. What we want in our beliefs, and I'm going to draw this off to the side. Bam. That's what our goal is. Our goal is not negative. Our goal is not positive. Our goal is neutral. Because if you have a neutral state when it comes to trading, a neutral belief system when it comes to trading, then guess what? You're not going to be on the euphoric side of the market, and you're not going to be on the revenge side, this will never work for me market, but you will be on the neutral side of the market. And this is the side that it is neutral to have the mindset of, if you truly want to not just make money trading, but accomplish whatever dreams, hopes, goals, and visions that you have for your trading as a trader. We got to shift you to that neutral mindset. And it's so important. right? And in our past video, we talked about different beliefs that you must remove, right? Or different thoughts that you must remove that's not serving you. So the thought that you need to find the perfect strategy in order to make money, we know that's absolute garbage because strategy is not important. The only thing that's important is your psychology and your mental state when you're trading and having a system behind you, because you can only make money with a system, not a strategy. Hopefully, if you've been watching this channel, you can recite this by now like you can recite the Bible back and forth. I take that back because most people cannot recite the Bible, but hopefully you can recite just like Pledge of Allegiance or whatever out there that's popular. But this is the idea of trading, is making this shift from positive to neutral or from negative to neutral. Never try to shift between these two states. It'll never work for you. So we must change our beliefs from either positive, negative to neutral. And if you want to know more about just like thoughts that are not serving you, right? And these may be thoughts like, I need to get the perfect strategy out there to make money, or the more effort I put in, the more I'll make, or, I'll trade better when I'm more confident in trading, and all of this garbage that people believe. Go watch some of the past videos because I think I just sprinkle them throughout the videos I made before on different thought processes that you need to be successful in trading, because it's all a mindset. But in this video specifically, we're trying to shift to neutral, not eliminating specific beliefs. So if that made sense, let's go to part 3. And if it didn't make sense, we're going to part 3 anyway, but just rewatch part 2 and then meet us in part 3. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna put the red back up here. Guys, I gotta get some markers, man. I'm kind of tired of drawing with the same colors. I mean, I love red, I love blue, but my blue died on me. So we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out. Takes like 1,000. I don't know what. I don't know if it's the. I don't know if it's this stuttering like crazy. I'm stuttering like crazy, guys. This is an exciting topic, man. This is exciting. For those that don't know, my excitement about a topic based on the degree in which I'm stuttering. If I sound like Bugs Bunny and I can't get a word out, then boy, oh boy, we're in for a good one, folks. But as I was saying, these markers, and I thought it was this, I don't know, those like off-brand Amazon markers I was using, but even Expo, like these markers, it takes like 1,000 swipes to get this board clean. So I don't know if I just have like a super XL board that you can't erase stuff off easily on. I don't know what the case is. But what I do know is it should be a lot easier than this. Let's switch up the colors. I'm feeling green for this. All right. So for this next section, I'm trying to get this cap off. It's not coming off. Let's see. All right. Still not coming off. All right. We got it. So for this next set, I'm doing this with one hand, y'all. I'm doing this with one hand, kind of off the dome, off the head, as I see value to give out. So you got to give your boys some patience, man. But for this last section, we know that we have to shift from negative. And for some people, you may not even be in a negative state. You may be in a positive state. But we know that we shouldn't be in either of these states mentally when we assess trading, because both of these states are very dangerous. Negative, bad mental state, trading can never work. Why am I doing this? You're not going to give the effort, energy, and time you should to trading, maybe because you have in the past, didn't work out, following the wrong information, rowing in the wrong boat. So now you have a negative mindset, negative thought pattern towards trading. We have to change this. Positive. Maybe you may be new to trading. You may have had some success in trading, may have had some, big plays that worked out in trading that weren't sustainable, but hey, you had big plays in trading. So now you're very positive when it comes to trading, but this is dangerous because with positivity, with very positiveness, you can get into either the euphoric zone of trading, have just crazy expectations. And we made a video on expectations and why that's dangerous when it comes to trading. But you may have crazy expectations now. because you have this very positive mindset, maybe on past results, friends that are killing it, YouTube, Instagram, seeing whatever, Ferraris, Bugattis being driven. We have to get out of these two states and we have to come into the state that we talked about, which is the neutral state of your mind. And the neutral state is not, you don't you don't care about trading, because obviously you care, right? You wouldn't be trying to educate yourself and learn how to actually make a lot of money trading if you didn't care. But the neutral state is saying, look, trading is cool, but I am disconnected from the outcome. Disconnected. That's what trading, that's what neutral means in this regard. Is it's not that I don't care, I'm just disconnected from the outcome, right? I don't have a negative perspective towards trading. I don't have a extremely positive perspective towards trading. I have a neutral perspective. But let's go back to the beginning of the video, right? Because I don't even want to shift over into how to adopt this neutral state before addressing the first part of the video, which was your personal life bleeding over into your trading life and how we can stop that bleed. Again, I'm going to say it once, I'm going to say it 1,000 times. If you want to have a great psychologist to fix your life, I recommend this guy. Boom. Great doctor, right? So if you want to find out how to make your personal life amazing so that none of the stuff in your personal life is going to bleed over into your trading and cause losses, then I truly recommend for you to call this guy. I think he has a TV show or something. You may be able to find his number there. I don't know. But if you're not trying to call this guy and you want help with trading, well, that's what you have RD for. I'm the psychology doctor, baby. And what I am telling you from a psychological perspective is the way that we're able to kind of cut that, not cut that gate, but to be able to limit, right? I didn't say completely stop, because again, everything is affected, everything is one. But the way that we can limit the way that I found for people to limit their personal life from their trading life is you can kind of do it two ways, right? And the second way is the way that we're going to go get into, and the second way is actually the way for you to shift into this neutral state. The first way is primarily going to be more, not less rule based than the second way, right? So I'm gonna write this down here. First way, right? This is gonna be the first way. First way is going to be affirmations. Artie, what the heck are you talking about? I thought we don't do any of that stuff here. We don't. Just listen and hear me out for a second. Affirmations is not where you're going to be sitting with your legs crossed, doing the yoga pose and all of that stuff at 2 in the morning. No. Affirmations is simply you repeatedly telling yourself what you want to believe about trading. Because if you have a negative state, this negative state is coming from negative thoughts. And how do you influence your thoughts? You influence your thoughts by continually impressing upon it a idea, aka an affirmation. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people out there. I know a lot of people out there won't believe it, don't believe it. I mean, you can take it or leave it if you want to. My job is to just give you the cup and lead you to the water. You have to drink it. That's on you. But I'm not going to tell you anything that the traders that are actually rich and making money in this market, I'm not going to tell you anything that they don't do. So when I tell you these affirmations, I'm not saying that just because it sounds good. I'm saying that because this thing can actually help to shift your mindset or shift your thoughts from a negative perspective or a positive perspective into a neutral perspective. The thing that's important when it comes to the actual affirmation side of things, you have to stay consistent. You have to consistently, before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, say your affirmation. Your affirmation can be whatever you want it to be, right? I'm gonna give you an example, but don't hold this example as God. Because again, me personally, in my trading journey, I've never had to deal with this because I always knew that stuff going on in my personal life carried over into my trading. So I never had to deal with this, right? But for those people that do, an affirmation that you can say is, and this is something that I used to just stick on my computer when trading, not because I needed this affirmation in order to make money, but just so I can stay in this state of mind, in this neutral state of mind, is that the market is random. I cannot force a win, but I can force losses. And my success in trading is totally dependent on my system and my consistent execution of it. Now, for me, not just for me, but for other traders, that affirmation can work. For you, it may be different. You may have to create your own. Whatever it is, it has to be something that is not necessarily positively charged or something that is negatively charged. That's why in mine, the idea and the example I said is, look, it's out of my hands. I can only become rich trading if I consistently trade my system, period. And that can be your affirmation, something that's out of your hands, it's beyond your control, so that you're not overly positive in your abilities, you're not overly negative that you won't be able to do it because it's not up to you. It's just up to your consistency in the thing that you've tested and tried out. And that's part two, right? Part two, I find most traders like to go this way because a lot of people can't wrap their head around part one. Okay, sure, that's on you, right? Both are very effective, right? So don't think that one is better than the other just because the second one is more tangible, rule based, and the first one is more working on your mindset in a sense. Both work great. And the second one is going to be this. This, and I know I wrote this small, but this second way being a what? A system. And if you've been on this channel a while, you understand what a system is, you know what a system is. But for those that don't, a system is only your strategy that is proven and tested being mixed with psychology, which is you having mental emotion and emotional domination over your thoughts, your emotions, and feelings when trading. And you mixing that with great risk management, that creates a system with execution as well. All right, so with a system, you have to have a way in which you have a execution mechanism towards it. That can be automatic execution, that can be alert execution, but you have to have an execution opponent for it to truly be a system. If not, it's just a strategy with psychology and risk management, but you're still leaving the execution in your hands instead of having a strategy for your execution within your system. This is how you get rich trading, not from a strategy. But if you've been watching the videos, you know that. This is the way that I find so many traders are able to actually cut off what's going on in their personal life to what's going on in their trading life. Now, of course, it's never going to be 100% because everything that happens in your life, everything that goes on in your life, in your body, everything feeds on everything. So you can never perfectly just disconnect something. That's like trying to go to an ocean and trying to put a wall in the middle of the ocean, right? I mean, you can avoid some water particles from seeping through whatever, but as a whole, what's going to happen to this side of the ocean is likely going to cross over to that side of the ocean. Why? Because it's all connected, it's all related, and the idea that you can put a wall is ridiculous, right? But the way that we can limit that is A, through affirmations. And the second way, and you can do both ways in conjunction, which is what I truly recommend, but the second way being system. Because with a system, it is you not having to think in the market. It is you. And again, if you saw the thinking video, you know how detrimental thinking is and why having a system to eliminate thinking is so important. You don't have to think in the market. You don't have to try to figure things out. And you don't have to make decisions based upon how you feel. Because the beautiful thing about this, and this is something that people don't understand, right? And this is why psychology is so important in the market. People don't understand that the way that you feel influences and impacts your decisions. Let's write that over here. Let's write this in red. And I like red just to show you that, hey, it's serious time. It's red time. Let's do it. The way, let's delete way so we can just start off fresh. But the way you feel is going to impact your decisions. Boom. The way you feel is always going to be the thing that is impacting your decisions. The way you feel impacts your decisions. So if you feel bad in your personal life, you have stuff going on in your personal life, that's always going to go into your trading life. Because the way that you feel, not feel towards trading, but just feel period, because your mind is one body. Your brain is one body. It's not four different brains that make up your mind. It's one mind. So the way that you feel here, right? The way that you feel in your, did I write it down? I didn't write it down. Yeah, the way that you feel in your personal life is going to move over into the decisions you make in your trading life. Why? Because we know that the way we feel impacts the decisions we make. And as long as you're making decisions while you're trading, should I jump out here or not? Should I hold longer? Should I use 1% or 2% risk on this trade? Look, I know that this non-farm payroll is coming out, but I think I'll still be able to trade and get some profit. Look, does this perfectly match up to my strategy? When you're making these decisions in trading, and these can be, regular decisions, you can say, well, RD, how can you not make those decisions when trading? Because you don't understand and haven't adopted a great system to trade with. You're trading a strategy instead of trading a system. And as long as you're trading a strategy, you're going to have to make decisions while you're trading. Should I jump out here? Should I not jump out here? Does this follow my strategy? Does this not follow my strategy? Should I trade during this news event? Should I not trade? As long as you're trading a strategy, and I should write strategy somewhere, but I think we can all understand what a strategy is. As long as you have a strategy, you will forever be making decisions in the market. And as long as you're making decisions in the market, you understand that the way that you feel is always going to impact those decisions. And if the way you feel are impacting the decisions regarding your very trades, then we always know that the way you feel is going to impact your trade. And it's going to bleed over. Now, you can do affirmations, which are great because that helps you to come into this neutral mindset. But ultimately, we have to get to the point to where we can truly and honestly stop making decisions while we're trading. That's why I made the video, stop thinking while you're trading. Because when it's game time, it's game time. When you give the ball to Michael Jordan with 3 seconds left on the clock, he's not thinking anything. He's just shooting that ball and scoring it. You want to not think in your trading because that's literally your game time. That's the 96 Bulls game on the line, game 7. That's your game time. And you don't want to have to think and try to make decisions when it's game time. You just want to execute, period. And that is, in my opinion, the most surefire way to shift from a positive point or say a negative point into a neutral point and stop letting outside forces impact and influence your trading in the form of more losses in the market by you stop making decisions and you start executing your system. This is RD Trades. I'm out, baby.